Boom! Got your attention now, folks. We're waking the dead and banging heads on location in Louisville, Kentucky. You want heavy metal artists? We got them. You want rap artists? We got them. You want tattoo artists? We got them. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. So what drives you to excel in your area of expertise? I mean, it's pretty unique pathway you've taken, in my opinion.
Yeah, so what I do, I've been an artist painting on canvas for about 16 years now. Okay. And about 4.5 years ago, I started getting into like different types of merchandise, and that's what kind of took me off as a brand.
Okay.
And then it allowed me to retire from tattooing, 4.5 years ago.
Cool.
And I've been full time with my gallery in the French Quarter now for 2 years, a little over 2 years.
And how's that going for you? Love it?
Yeah, it's going great, man. The summertime's pretty rough. It's very hot down there.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you. So what was your biggest inspiration and maybe why? It can be personal or professional. This could be for either one of you.
For me, I just always wanted to work for myself and never have to work for the man.
Amen, I know that.
So I never stopped. I worked 24 hours a day to get to where I'm at.
Sure.
And I still work hard and 24 hours a day. And I'm finally here, so.
Val, you want to say anything?
Honestly, the music industry as a whole, I grew up listening to all of this stuff when I was little. My mom was in a metal band, the first ever female-fronted metal band in Brazil. So I was raised right. And, did the whole full circle thing with, I ended up working for Rob Zombie for a few years. And that was the first CD I stole from my mom when I was, I'm not going to say my age right now, but very young.
Gotcha.
So just the music is what keeps me going in different areas, and especially I feel like it crosses over into physical art, like painting and everything like that. So taking what I learned in music and helping him out with his art, it kind of goes hand in hand, I think.
Well, Butch, what was that I call aha moment when you knew that this was your pathway, art?
Well, the tattooing for 12 years, it kept me surviving, paying bills, eating, feeding.
Absolutely.
But I kept every minute I had outside of that, I was focused on my art career.
Okay.
And it's just what I love to do. So every day I do what I do for a living. I do what I love. So I fight for that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this next question, I'm curious to ask. What do you consider to be your biggest accomplishment, Butch, either in the art world or tattooing or in general?
Yeah, my biggest accomplishment, I'm very humble, and every day I'm blown away that, I look at the bills I have every month,
Sure.
And I'm like, damn, I'm really living and surviving as this artist. And sometimes I'm like, I don't get it, but that's the most mind-blowing thing for me, I'm very thankful for what I could do.
Yeah.
And survive doing this.
I'm here with the one, the only, Danny Kiranos, better known as Amigo the Devil. Welcome, dude.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for your time.
Sweet. So is this your first Louder Than Life ever, or have you done
Louder
this
Than Life? Yeah.
Sweet.
We've done a couple of the other Wimmer festivals this year, but so far, this one's pretty special.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
I've heard some good reports about your performance today.
Thank you.
So what drives you to excel in your area of expertise? I'll call you Amigo, I guess.
Amigo works.
When no one's looking, as I say.
It's funny that this whole project started kind of as a joke, so I never really had a goal. And I don't mean joke as in humor, I mean a dumb hobby. I never had a goal for it, so as it keeps progressing, I'm shocked.
Right.
But it's a learning experience, and there's a huge adaptation with every step we take. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of manipulate it and see how to make it work at the stage it's in when it gets there. I think that's the drive.
So who or what was your inspiration, Amigo, and maybe why?
My inspirations for the actual sonic nature of it came after I started writing the songs.
Really?
It was, because I grew up in a completely different background than what I do play, and I grew up listening to metal, like extreme metal. There's a grind and noise and stuff like that. A lot of hardcore. And I didn't have any country around me. No Western, no Americana,
Really?
nothing.
So no familial
Nothing
influence, no musician in the family?
No.
Wow.
My mom listened to mainly Latin music or Meatloaf. That's
See,
it.
To me, not only is that Moxie, but I've always looked at that as a fellow human being as genius, where you've been given this gift and talent, and there's really no, at least obvious basis for it.
Well,
That's
I appreciate
pretty sweet,
it.
man.
Thanks.
Pretty sweet. What advice would you give someone younger, or maybe a second career approach, male or female, thinking about getting into the musical business? What honest advice would you offer?
Trust your sound and don't emulate anybody. That's one of the hardest things that people lose. One of the quickest things that people lose is themselves, because a lot of the people that you see, they go, okay, I want to start a band that sounds like this,
Right.
and you're always going to have the goal to sound like the person you set out to sound like. But if you just start and you trust your sound and you trust your own guiding force, it's really, really easy to fall into doubt, but it's very rewarding when you get to the other side. So
When was that aha moment, as I like to call it, when you realized that this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, or at least professionally?
today on the stage
really?
today. Every
You
time
heard
I
it
get
here
to play,
first, folks.
every time I get to play is a big aha moment for me where I go, oh, okay, yeah, I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah. So, Phil, what drives you to do this? I mean,
Well, okay,
there's
so-
a lot of, I would assume, sensitive moments. Don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Sad moments that you have to face and deal with. Why do you do it every day? I'm asking you, just as a fellow human.
I do it because I have my own demons, right?
Sure.
And I've come full circle with all of that,
great.
and I get to give back, man. Giving back is giving back without expecting anything in return. That's what I think this world needs more of from people, and I get to do that, man. And I don't do this for the money, obviously. I do this because it fills my heart, and I'm going on my 7th year with the foundation now, and it's not always easy. I've lost a lot of people that I've come close
You get
with.
to know them, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
just
Oh,
name
yeah.
on a piece of paper.
No, I build personal relationships with these people after spending weekends at a time with them, and yeah, man, it's a special thing, man. It's a special thing.
Coming from that lens, what inspired you to choose Fuck Cancer? I mean, there
Okay.
are a lot of choices for you
So-
as Phil Kohler.
I grew up with the founder.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Brandon. Yeah,
Yep.
talk a little bit about him for a moment.
So Brandon, was an avid surfer skater. The foundation's based out of Huntington Beach, California, and we all went to high school together. And when he passed, Muggs, who now runs the foundation, is one of my best friends. Well, 7 years ago, I was looking for work, and we had a chance to go out on the Mayhem Fest. Muggs had the opportunity to go out on the Mayhem Festival. He asked me, Phil, do you want to go out on Mayhem Festival with Rob Zombie and Five Finger Death Punch? I go, yeah. So fast forward 7.5 years, here I am, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what's been probably the most aha moment, or a moment that's really captured you? I know, like for me, maybe this will help you, the way I couch this question. For me, doing this, about every 30 days or so, someone will walk up to me and go, I love your work, I love what you're doing. I've seen some of your programs, and that fuels me to keep pushing forward and trying to get to the next test. So in that lens for you, what keeps you doing it, I guess? What's the aha moment, as I call it?
Just that I know that I'm doing good, man. I'm spreading love in this world, and it's like, look where we're at right now.
Yeah.
We're at a metal festival in Louisville, Kentucky,
Yeah.
and yeah, like our shirt is pretty loud and pretty.
It gets your attention.
It gets your
quick. You got my attention,
right?
I was like, we gotta talk to these people.
But the thing is, you know, this is our saying. There's only one offensive word on our shirt, and it isn't. You know,
I like that.
I like
that.
And we could spread the love to. We hit a demographic of people that Susan G. Komen can't touch. That St. Jude's can't touch. These are our people out here, you know, and they're our biggest supporters. So we want to keep being here and keep pushing the message, man.
So what advice would you offer an individual that is diagnosed with cancer? I mean, that might not be a fair question to you, but you've dealt with a lot of it.
PMA.
Which is?
Positive mental attitude. I've seen a lot of people go through cancer. My dad's battling it right now. You know, Brandon McGinnis was like a brother to me.
You lost it.
Yeah, and I lost him. Positive mental attitude, I think it's the most important thing. People that get down on themselves, of course, man, you're going through cancer. You're going to be like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why couldn't it be someone else? You got to get past that, and you got to stand it in the face and basically say, F you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat you, you know? And
So what drives you to excel in your area of expertise, what I say when nobody's looking? I mean, you've got a long, expansive career in music. What keeps you doing it?
Well, we still enjoy it, I guess. I heard it said that you should stop when nobody cares or you don't care.
That's a damn good point. Because if you don't care, no one else probably will. That's true.
I still like doing it. So.
Yeah. What do you find, or what do you consider to be your biggest inspiration? Maybe why, Buzz? It could be personal or professional. What inspired you on this path?
I would say my wife, actually. She's really good. We've been married 26 years.
It's beautiful.
A long time.
Congratulations. It's not easy.
In a row.
In a row. I like it. I'm at 10 right now.
To the same woman. In a row.
Listen, we're starting to stray off into the purpose of what our show's about. Any advice? No, just kidding.
Be ready to compromise.
Yes, that is very much the truth. Very much the truth.
Yeah.
So when did you have that aha moment, Buzz, as I like to say, when you knew that this is where you were headed? This was your career path. You could build a future on it, a foundation. Most musicians and performers I've found, creative people, they have that moment, that turning point.
I don't know, maybe around 1990.
Okay.
I thought, might be able to turn this into a way that I could actually make a living. Mm-hmm. And then I've kind of had an attitude that I was going to be out of business in 6 months. So I've operated like that.
Yeah, because the only way to go is up. I guess you go the other way.
Can, yeah.
Yeah. So what piece of advice would you offer someone younger than yourself, or someone starting a second career, male, female, regardless of ethnicity, social, economic background, musical talent? What advice would you offer from what you've learned?
Expect nothing, and then you can be pleasantly surprised.
Ooh, I like that. That's a great way to live, because it solves, because when you place expectations on people or events or things,
it's not going to work.
It's not usually going to work, because your perception of what it's going to be in reality is usually never meet.
Yeah, you be happy with what you get. Not with what you think you should get.
So, I love this next question. I'm curious to see your answer, Buzz. It's a little bit of an offbeat question, but what makes you lose your sense of humor?
Tax day. Bureaucracy of any kind.
Yeah, well, I can agree with that. Totally agree with that. So what do you consider to be your biggest accomplishment so far, either musically or personally or otherwise?
My marriage, definitely, is my biggest accomplishment. To have a partnership like that I can count on.
Yeah.
It's really great.
No, I think so.
Musically, just being proficient and working really hard.
What was your biggest inspiration, and maybe why? Musician?
Yeah, my father, he's a drummer too, and he got me started when I was really young.
Cody is.
Really?
At this point, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, dude, come with me.
Yeah, I mean, just Cody's a fantastic musician, and I never want to let him down or the band down. So I think the drive just to continually better ourselves, that's yeah.
So do you guys go way back?
Not really. We've only known each other for 5 years, but it's been the best 5 years of my life, so it's been good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're brothers.
When did you discover that aha moment where not only you want to be a musician, but there's then that performing part of it? There's a lot of people that can be musicians, but being able to get up in front of tens of thousands of people, that's another.
For me, it was my 11th birthday. My parents took me to an Elvis impersonator concert, and Elvis was my hero. And they pulled some strings that got me to go on stage, and Elvis sang "Happy Birthday" to me, and I was like, "This is it." And the dude is trying to all right, get off the stage, kid. And I looked at the audience like, "This is it. This is what I'm doing."
Nice. How about you?
For me, I was in a talent show when I was younger, and I played a drum solo in front of the whole school, and I felt.
You played a drum solo?
I did, but yeah. Ever since that moment, I felt like that's what I wanted to do.
So it just clicked right then, and then you just built upon that.
Definitely, yeah.
So what do you guys consider to be your biggest inspiration, and maybe why? Any of you guys can answer that. I know you guys used to be called Sucker Punch at one point. Now you're Anemic royalty. So what's been your biggest inspiration?
Well, me and Jeremy are the ones that kind of started playing.
Sure.
It was back in middle school. We just kind of jamming, playing Green Day covers, Nirvana covers, that sort of stuff, bonded over those types of bands. And those definitely are some of the early inspirations. But we also came from a bunch of different backgrounds, as far as music goes. I grew up listening to classic rock and honestly a lot of the bands playing because my dad used to be a radio DJ. So I
minor
love
little station called WLRS.
Yeah.
Another show.
But so I grew up loving, Van Halen and Eddie and his style. And then when we came together, we kind of started to bring all these different ideas together into one to kind of form what we're doing now. But we draw inspiration from a bunch of different people.
Cool. And Odin, were you the one that didn't know how to play and just wanted to be part of the whole thing and picked it up?
I was meaning to start an instrument, and Jeremy and Seamus were wanting to be rock stars playing guitar,
Yeah.
So they needed somebody to back them up and make them sound good. So
That's great.
I started bass for Anemic royalty.
That's awesome. So when did you guys discover that you could do this? I mean, not only play the instrument, but want to perform in front of a live audience. It takes a lot of moxie.
Music has been a very large influence on our lives for our entire lives. All of our family are deeply seated in the music community. All of our dads are very well versed in different areas. We've got Seamus's dad with the radio.
Right.
Jeremy's dad. What is shit? Oh yeah, he played. Yeah, he played music. And then my dad helped out with some of the more local connections and so we all are very familiar with music. We started at a young age, and it's just there wasn't really a specific point where we noticed this is what we're gonna do. It just always kind of was well, this is gonna be something you're gonna be dealing with. So
Sure.
so we might as well try hard and make a name for ourselves.
So you heard it here first. Odin does like to talk. Gotcha, man. So what advice would you give, you guys are pretty young, you got a lot of chapters ahead of you. What advice would you give anybody you can answer on the group here to a musician coming up or someone on their second career, man?
You don't need a reason to start picking up an instrument.
Okay.
Just if it looks cool to you, do it. There's no reason not to.
Okay, Miles?
To any aspiring musician or performer, all you have to do is enjoy what you're doing, practice it, and just be confident in yourself, and you can't fail. As long as you just continue doing those, you will succeed in whatever you want to.
And do it with your friends.
So what drives you guys to excel when nobody's looking, as I say, when you got to get up and maybe you're not feeling that great and you got to find the passion?
I would say this is definitely the thing that we have the most fun doing.
Okay.
So, and it's definitely what we want to do for the rest of our lives. So I feel super lucky that we get to wake up every day and play music.
Sweet.
This is our shot. So I think that's a good good driver.
Yeah, and we all like to. We're all friends, so it's a good time to come and hang out and play music. Yeah.
Super lucky.
So what do you guys consider to be your biggest inspiration and why? It can be personal or professional. Any of you guys can answer?
I think when people ask me, like who to compare ourselves to, I always think Foo Fighters. Just a really all-around good band, and I know you love Dave Grohl. I love Dave Grohl as well.
Yeah.
Just an awesome, solid band. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what advice would you offer somebody trying to break into the business? They could be older than you guys. They can't really be much younger, but what advice would you guys offer?
Oh man, advice.
I would say grind it out. Just start playing as much as you can. People will start to follow you. That's kind of what we had to do in Houston.
You just gotta get your name out there and
start small, work your way up. People, if they, if you're really into it and you really mean it, people will dig it.
Sweet. So when did you guys discover what I call that kind of aha moment that this is what you want to do? I mean, you guys got a lot of chapters ahead of you, knock on wood. So your life can change, but I mean, when you decided to really devote yourself, I mean, dude, you guys are playing at a big music festival. It's pretty sweet.
I mean, I've been playing drums almost all my life, so I never thought of anything else, of doing anything else, and I think that's what we all feel, so we all just got together and made it happen.
But what do you consider to be your biggest accomplishment so far? Either as a band or personally?
I would say probably getting to go to LA and record our album.
Okay.
It was a super cool experience, something we, it was a awesome learning experience. We got to fool around with a lot of cool toys and stuff in the studio.
Sure.
And ultimately,
Howard Benson.
Yeah, working with Howard Benson.
Oh wow.
Super awesome. Who we just saw here at the festival, so that was pretty cool.
That's cool, man.
He came out to see us, but and it turned out great. So we're super excited to put it out.
So it's kind of an offbeat question. I don't think I've asked anyone at your age level, frankly, but what makes you guys lose your sense of humor? No wrong answer.
Man, I don't know.
Awkward interviews.
Awkward interviews. Yeah. Which we're lucky that this one is not one.
Good. Thank you. So what do you guys consider to be a song in your catalog or library, or a song in general that kind of captures your essence as a band? Is there one that kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sedona, the first single that we just put out in the video, I think it's hard rocking, it's got a great melody and great hooks, and I think that just represents what we are as a band and the sound that we're trying to make.
If you like what you've seen here, check out more at MoxieTalk.com. You won't be disappointed. Hey gang, we're waking the dead and banging some heads here on location at Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky at the Kentucky State Fairgrounds. But I'm here with a man on a noble mission. His name is Tim McNally. He is an advocate for Bang Your Head Beads and Take Me Home Animal Rescue. Thanks, Tim, for being here.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. So is this your first Louder Than Life, or you done this before?
No, actually, it's my, we came in year 2.
Okay.
So I guess this is year 5 or 6. I'm not really sure. I don't know if we even count last year.
Yeah, it didn't happen, so right.
It didn't happen, but I kind of entered into it from the waste management side of it. I still do the garbage for the event.
Okay.
I manage that, but early on, I started wanting to give back to my community. Went around the community, had a little bit of, some people liked it, some didn't, but then I ended up with Lori Hayes from Take Me Home.
Okay.
So I supplied them with their beaded bracelets, along with a few other things. I had, as you saw, a soapbox derby car, which we had some
Good
people
stuff.
sign. We had that, got raffled off. Bought some guitars. So over the years, my wife and I have donated some thousands of dollars. You know, we've been very, very fortunate. And we just want to give back.
I understand.
Not only do we do it here, but we also advocate in Costa Rica. We winter there, and I do the same beads for breast cancer down there. But while I'm here, I do it for the dogs and cats.
That's great. So anything different about this Louder Than Life than the previous ones you've been at?
Oh, my Lord. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Obviously, the obvious thing is when we very first started with Louder Than Life, I mean, it was 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was like a big deal. and then it progressed. Unfortunately, with the rain last year, we kind of lost our sight down there.
Sure.
It was a lot more shady, that sort of thing. But I think Danny Wimmer, Danny Hayes, and certainly Marty from Marty Storch. He's going to advocate for us to make it bigger, I think. And so, really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what drives you to excel in this area? I mean, what makes you do it?
Well, I've had a wonderful career. 25 plus years in the garbage business. I've done well. We want to give our time back. We want to give our time back financially. It's just my wife and myself. So we have found it a very good means in order to really help some things out. So yeah, it's kept me kind of busy, doing some things like this, making the beads, doing some other type of marketing, which was my specialty at Waste Management.
Right. So where does the inspiration come from, Tim?
Well, that's kind of easy. Some years ago, I had a big UK room. A couple years ago, I decided that I didn't want the UK room, so I built a meditation room. In doing that, I actually take and teach Bikram yoga. I invited all of my yoga friends over, and I wanted to buy them a bracelet. Well, 35 times 20 is 700. I learned how to make them.
Right.
So I started making them, and I guess, Kurt, I've probably given away thousands.
Sure.
I'll carry them in restaurants. If I hear somebody over here loses their pet, I'll give them a bracelet. Children, we give them a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of do it that way.
So when did you discover what I always like to say, that aha moment? When did you discover that this is what I'm going to do? Was there an event? Like for me, I'll help a little here. When I'm doing this show, about once a month, somebody in the community or in my travels will stop me and go, man, I really like you did this and that with that individual, and I learned a lot, and that keeps my
I kind of think it was, and I can't think of what her name is, but there was a little girl that I always give kids bracelets. Kids are a no-charge thing, man.
Yeah.
And I gave her this, mister, it's so beautiful. And I went, I think I might have something here.
Yeah.
And I think I know the vehicle in order to do it, and that's with Louder Than Life. And, of course, we've since progressed on to Hometown Rising, of obviously Bourbon and Beyond as well.
Sure.